I mean, I have a lot of confidence. Even when I'm not necessarily feeling confident on the inside, I'm going to show up that way because I just refuse to allow myself to fall prey to any kind of pressure or insecurity, even if it's within myself. But I'm going to challenge myself, going back to those challenges to push myself outside of my comfort zone and show up in the way that I need to.
Nice. Hi guys, Brian Smith here on another episode of the Entrepreneur Blueprint, and I have a very special guest today.
Hello.
I have my friend from a long time, a few years. We're not that old.
No, please, don't put that out there.
I have my friend Miss Kish
Yes.
in the house
Thank you.
today.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And what I want to do, so first of all, can you please tell the people your first and last name?
Yes.
So that everybody
Yes.
knows.
It's a mouthful.
Okay.
It's Kischma Channette.
Okay, Kischma Channette.
Yes.
I was gonna say that first because I know how to say it, but I'd rather,
Understood.
I'd rather
It's okay.
do it. Okay.
Kish for short.
Kish.
So if we're friends, you can call me Kish.
And that's what I've been calling you
Yes,
for
you have.
years.
So
So Miss Kish, today, what we are doing on the Entrepreneur Blueprint, we are sharing stories of professionals like yourself that that can be maybe an inspiration to people out there that are looking to start similar career paths.
Okay.
And so before we just jump into that, I'd normally like to start kind of at the beginning. How did we get here? What's your path? What's your journey, your story to where we are today?
Okay. Well, I was born in the Caribbean, so my family's from the Virgin Islands.
Okay.
I am the youngest of 6, and we moved. So my siblings grew up there because I'm the youngest by 10 plus years. So my siblings grew up in St. Thomas, and we moved to Houston when I was 2 years old, and I grew up mainly on the southwest side of Houston in the Alief area.
Okay.
And we didn't have a lot of money. My mom was a single mother of 6 kids, but I didn't know our financial situation until really I got older and I looked back and I realized, what things were like. But even though I was the youngest, I was always kind of an independent thinker, an independent doer. I remember when I was about 7 or 8 years old, we lived in an apartment complex. We lived upstairs, and I walked to the end of the porch and I was leaning over the rail, and I think I was eating like toast with butter or something like that. But I was planning my future. And I had 7 careers that I wanted to do.
Oh, wait, how old are you?
I was 7 or 8.
Okay, and we're planning our future. Okay.
Yes, I had 7 careers that I wanted. And so I was planning on how I was going to execute all of those within a calendar year. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be an attorney, a gymnast, a figure skater, a ballerina, and maybe like 2 other things. But I was trying to, categorize and plan out when I would do those things. I would teach during the school year. On the weekends, I might, do a couple of cases. In the winter, I would do figure skating. In the spring, okay. It didn't but I had a big imagination.
Wow, okay? I love it.
I had a big imagination. I was really creative. But only one of those careers actually came to fruition, and that was being a teacher.
Okay.
So when I graduated from college, I graduated from U of H. I actually had a bachelor's degree in marketing. I wanted to do commercial advertising because it would allow me to be creative. But right after I graduated, I took a teacher certification course, which was maybe like 9 or 10 months long. And then I ended up getting certified to teach social studies and English.
Okay.
So I was hired on a Friday, and that Monday was the first day of school. So
wow.
I jumped right into teaching. But I realized that education was not what I imagined it to be.
So what grade level?
I taught 6th grade, and I taught social studies, which was not my preference. I would have preferred to have taught, reading and language arts at that point in time. But I realized that I went into it with rose-colored glasses.
Okay.
I thought kids would love school. I liked school. I liked learning. I liked the challenge. That was not.
No, the kids they didn't love school.
No.
I mean,
they did not. No. surprise, right? It was a surprise to me, actually. Yeah. It really was shocking.
Kind of disappointing, huh?
It was. But I mean, that was the reality of it. That was partly my naivete. I went into it just not really understanding, the reality of the world.
Okay.
So after my third year, I actually decided to leave teaching, and I dipped my toe into real estate, which is something that I was always kind of curious about. I love home decor, so it kind of ties into real estate a little bit, but I worked for a builder. I went to work for a builder in 2007, which was not the greatest time to leave a stable career to work, for commission, but I did, and,
So that transition.
Yeah.
From stable career to commission.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
It was a leap of faith. So at that point in time, we had just bought our first house. I had an 8-month-old child. My husband was in school full time. So I was more of the income earner. So leaving that stability was definitely, it was definitely scary. But when I have my mind set on something, and I think through it, I really overanalyze things, unfortunately, or fortunately. But I had my mind set on it.
Okay.
So I left, and it was sink or swim. I can either succeed and make some money or not. Luckily,
8-month-old baby is a lot of motivation, right?
Yes, that is.
That's a lot of motivation.
That was a lot.
Okay.
Correct.
Yes.
And 8 was a magic number. Like within the first 8 months, I was able to surpass, the income that I was making as a teacher.
First year?
Within 8 months.
Okay.
Within 8 months of that first year.
So that's validation.
It was. Unfortunately, though, that builder went out of business about a year and a half working for them.
Okay.
So I was unemployed for about 2 months, and then I got a job as a business development manager for a staffing firm. That was a challenge as well, but I found myself kind of thinking about teaching again. I was kind of missing some of those classroom conversations and the connections that I was making with kids, and I found my way back into the classroom.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
This time I taught reading and language arts, which was more fulfilling for me, I should say. I enjoyed that a lot. And so I decided that real estate was going to be my life after I retired from teaching.
Okay.
That came a little sooner than expected.
Okay.
So I was in the classroom for about another 13 years, and in 2022, I just decided that I couldn't do it any longer.
So were you back at the same grade level, or was it
I was still middle school. I was still teaching in middle school. I was teaching 8th grade at that time, still reading and language arts. So I loved the content. I loved some of the things that we were doing in the classroom, but there are just other bigger things that were happening. And I just felt like if I waited another 10 to 12 years to retire, then I just would not be of sound mind and body. So I put a lot of thought into it, a lot of discussion with my husband. And I love teaching, and now I'm doing real estate full time.
Wow.
Since 2022.
What's ironic about your story is where we first met was at a school. It was at a school,
yes,
but you weren't a teacher.
I was not a teacher. That was my first year in real estate. So can
we talk about that?
Yes.
So how did we meet?
Okay. So getting into real estate, you have to market. You have to put yourself out there. Mm-hmm. And so this was one way that I thought, let me market myself, especially in my community. So there's a school that's close by.
Mm-hmm.
We live in the same area. There was a school close by. They were having a carnival, and I bought a booth space, I guess, to advertise my business. I was giving away a house. I don't know if you recall that.
I do.
It was a cardboard house.
I do.
It was like a cardboard house for kids, but that was like my little giveaway, I guess, to give away a house. But you walked up with your family, and we shook hands, and I think your daughter was like interested in filling out the little raffle thing, and then we just started talking, and then I realized that you were an inspector. Obviously, you knew what I was doing, and we connected.
Because what was funny, my daughter, she was probably 7 years old at the time, 6 or something, and we were just going for the carnival, and I was like, hey, I'm not really gonna be promoting the inspection business.
Right.
My daughter immediately runs up, and she's like,
I think there was a dollhouse there.
Yeah, it was a dollhouse, and I just thought that was amazing to see you out there promoting your business, because that takes courage.
It does.
To get out there.
It does, yeah.
Can you talk about that? Because there's people that want to do different things, but there's a difference between wanting to do something and taking action.
Right.
how do you navigate that where you take action where even though you're nervous about something?
Just do it. I think part of it is just who I am. That is just in my nature. And I'm okay with challenging myself and pushing myself to do something that I'm not comfortable with. I have to get myself there mentally before I can do it, but I am oftentimes attracted to something that is a challenge. Leaving teaching to go into real estate, that was a challenge, but I felt like I could live up to it. And so putting myself out there, it just takes some like mental fortitude. You got to talk yourself through it a little bit. You have to realize, well, what is the end goal? What is the end vision? And this is just a means to an end. Put aside, whatever fears or concerns or insecurities, that you may have, and just keep your eyes on, what is the end goal? Let me get to it.
That's really
Once you get
good.
to that end goal, you're really not going to think about all the insecurities or the fears that you had to begin with.
That's really good. I really like how when you talked about getting comfortable being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I heard someone say one time that a lot of times our blessings are right outside our comfort zone.
Right. Absolutely.
And so, I think that's really good what you're saying, because that's how we grow.
Yes.
I mean, there's only so much growth that happens if we stay within our comfort zone.
Exactly.
So I really like that.
And even if you fail, that's still a great thing, because hopefully you would learn from that failure. I mean, the pathway to success is not an easy one. It's not a straight one, and it's not one that is perfect. You do have some pitfalls and some roadblocks and some bumps, but I think those things are what, make you stronger and build you up and make you better.
That's a big deal, what you said, because what I'm hearing is, the way that you respond to different things that you don't have any control of is really, that has a lot to do with
absolutely
how your perception, your attitude, your outlook,
your mental fortitude. Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Yes.
I hope that you guys hear what she's saying right now, because this is a story of perseverance and sticking with it and being really, really laser focused on the goal.
Well, like I told you, I had 7 careers planned. I still have time to accomplish them. So, I'm still working toward, being a figure skater.
Okay. So we're out of teaching and we're in the real estate business. So what are some of the challenges? A lot of people see a lot of agents on social media, and we're on vacation, we're closing, it's glamorous.
It's not.
What are some of the challenges that are the realities that you faced?
I think one of the biggest challenges is one that most of us face just as human beings. We're only given a certain amount of hours in a day. Mm-hmm. And how we partition those hours, how we utilize those hours can be a challenge for all of us, especially if you're wearing multiple hats, you have multiple roles or responsibilities. Mm-hmm. I think multitasking is a skill that, if you have it, it's something that you wear as a badge of honor. I can do this, this, and this. As a teacher, you have to multitask. I mean, it is a part of the job. It's necessary. As a parent, you have to be able to multitask. Mm-hmm. But what I've come to realize is, in order for me to take care of some things with fidelity, I cannot multitask. I have to put some things to the side, and I just have to focus on this one task, whether it's for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or 2 hours. Whatever time is necessary to take care of that, but I just need to focus on that one thing. For example, if I'm reviewing a contract for a client, this one mistake could be costly. This is someone's money, this is someone's livelihood. So if I'm reviewing the contract and I think, I have to send this email, I'm not going to stop and turn and go do the email, because I could be missing one thing on that contract that could end up being costly. So if I'm focusing on the contract, then that's it. I'm minimizing or eliminating any kind of external distractions. So to answer the question again, the challenge is, being able to manage time. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes I think one answer to that is to multitask, but my answer now is to not multitask with everything, to understand when is it okay to multitask and when is it not okay.
Wow.
Just focusing on one thing.
That's really good, because there's so many things competing for our attention
Absolutely.
nowadays. It's the phone, it's the family,
Yes.
it's the this, it's the
Yes.
that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy. So do you like time block out your time?
I do sometimes.
You do? Okay.
Yes. So I'll make a list of things that I have to do for the day. And if it's a small list and kind of easy things, then I'll give myself some flexibility, to be distracted if need be. But if it's something that's really important, or if I have 15 things to take care of that day and I only have so much time to do it, then I am going to time block. I'm going to give myself 1 hour to do this. I don't turn off my phone, but I'll turn it over. So if I can hear it if it goes off, but I'm not seeing, because if my mom's name pops up, I'm going to feel guilty, not answering her phone call.
Sure.
And she's going to get on me
sure.
if I don't answer her phone call. So I'll just turn the phone over, but I'll be aware, that someone's trying to contact me. So at, an hour, I may take a 15-minute break, check my phone, do whatever I need to do. But time blocking is definitely one of those beneficial things.
Nice. So over the years, I've done countless inspections for you, a lot of inspections.
Yes, you have.
One of the things that I've noticed, your clients love you.
Oh.
They really, because I'm there normally before you arrive. So normally you come to the inspection.
Yes, I do.
Your customer service approach is top tier.
Thank you.
And that's not me. This is your customer, because I always ask, hey, how did you connect with your agent? How's it been going? Just small talk. And they all rave about, we love working with, because they just go on and on. And how do you, what's the secret sauce in the customer service? What's the secret sauce? Talk to us about how do you do this?
I think what's important for me personally is integrity and just being authentic. I'm always going to carry myself in a way, present myself in a certain way. I'm always going to be professional with anybody that I'm working with. So not just my customers, but with you, any other industry colleagues. I'm always going to be professional and show up. I'm going to present myself in a way that I want people to see me. And I think it's going to come across, it does come across authentic. And I do things with integrity. My reliability, my integrity, and my trust, that is important to me. And I'm not going to sacrifice that for $1 or for someone else.
Well, and that's really powerful. And I hope that you guys pick up on that, because one thing that I've always admired, my wife and I, you've always carried yourself with the highest dignity, and we have the highest respect for you. You from the very beginning, you've always, and the respect that you give to other people and your clients, it shows.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I have a lot of confidence, even when I'm not necessarily feeling confident on the inside. I'm going to show up that way, because I just refuse to allow myself to fall prey to any kind of pressure or insecurity, even if it's within myself. But I'm going to challenge myself, going back to those challenges, to push myself outside of my comfort zone and show up in the way that I need to.
Nice. So for our audience that's watching, if there's a person or an individual out there that they're wanting to pursue a career in the real estate business, is there any suggestions or advice you would have for them?
Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Okay. So first and foremost, if you are going to get into real estate, treat it like any other business. You have to invest in it and be prepared of the financial investment that you're going to have to make.
Can you talk more about this?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. The classes that you have to pay for, the exams. Once you get your license, you pay for your license. If you want to join the MLS, there are MLS fees, that happen quarterly. You pay super fees, maybe your brokerage has fees, marketing. It can add up quickly. And
gas.
Oh, okay. Yes. And gas is expensive, but yes, that is a part of it. That's really important. If you have a partner, and your partner can hold it down, then that's great. If you're an individual person, either way, I would really suggest to have money set aside to invest in your business right off the gate, but then also have money reserved to live off of, maybe 6 months, maybe even a year if possible, of reserves. Because if your business doesn't pick up right away, if it takes you some time to close that first transaction, you still have to live, you still have bills to pay. And so having money set aside just to live could be a lifesaver if it takes you some time, to really build up your business.
Wow. And that's the practical thinking that you're talking about, because you can't just one Friday, I want to be an entrepreneur, I'm not coming back.
No. I mean, you're going to come back.
You're going to come back.
Because you need that money.
You need that money. Yeah. So there needs to have an exit strategy.
Right.
If you're thinking, you have a plan.
Yes.
And so that's
a financial plan.
A financial plan.
Savings. If it's something that you are wanting to do, maybe give yourself a year to save money, to put money to the side, and then start to pursue it. But having those reserves is going to be important. And I think this is my 4th year, and I still feel like I'm in a learning curve. But other agents that I've spoken to, they say the same thing, especially if business is slow for them. Once you start making money, it's still important to put that money to the side as well, because there could be slow times, and you still, again, you have to live. You have bills to pay, you have a livelihood. And if you're working on commission and you don't have a partner, who can hold down the bills as well, then you have to plan for that.
Yeah, so you get that commission check, you got to kind of, you don't know exactly when the next one is coming.
Correct.
So there's got to be some discipline there.
Discipline is a great word. Yeah, that's true.
Wow, this is good. Yeah. This is really good. This is really good. So are there any, along your journey or even now, any books or podcasts, any educational stuff maybe you would recommend?
Well, I love reading, first of all. I love to read for pleasure. But when I read, I want to commit to reading. I want to read from cover to cover. I don't want any breaks. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want any distractions. And so it's been a challenge for me to make the time to be able to do that. Time blocking, because reading for pleasure, it's almost like, oh, well, I have other things I need to be taking care of instead of reading this book. So I've started listening to audiobooks, actually, more so. I have, I think, like 4 on rotation right now.
Okay.
I'm listening to Psychology 101, which is, I'm just curious, just interested in human behavior and the way we think and do, or why we think and do things. Atomic Habits is another one.
Okay.
I'm listening to Start With No. I think that's the title of it. That's more sales oriented.
Oh, I think I read that one.
That's a good one.
Go for No.
Something like that.
That is a really good book.
It is good.
It's short.
Yes, it is.
But that's a really good one.
It is, yes.
I think that's a really good one. That's Go for No.
And I listen to it like repeatedly, so it's not just a one-stop shop. When I feel like, okay, how do I approach something, or if I just need a refresher, I'll listen to it in the car or in the morning when I'm getting ready.
So even being a successful agent, you're constantly learning,
absolutely,
working to educate yourself, constantly growing.
I have to, yes, and that would be another advice for anyone coming into the industry. Things change so much that you have to keep up with those changes, and even if you've been in the industry for a long time, you can't know everything, especially if things are changing on a daily basis. So at one point, I was trying to take several classes within a month. I at least take 1 class a month, but I try to take 2 or 3. I find classes at a title company, or I'll take it online with HAR or something like that. But I'm always trying to get information, because you just never know when it's going to be necessary or helpful.
You bet. This is really good. This is a good conversation. Okay, so Kish, I gotta tell you, I tell dad jokes, clean dad jokes.
Clean.
So before we go,
you're gonna hit me with a joke?
I have to give you.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a joke.
Let's hear it.
Here we go. All right. So
I gotta brace myself.
Brace yourself. It's kind of short. Okay. There's a pastor. He's a hunting and fishing kind of guy, So he goes out into the woods and he's hunting. Nothing happens. So he goes. He's there for the whole weekend. There's a tent and all this. So he goes back to the tent. He didn't see anything. He puts his hunting rifle, like way over there, and he's over here. All of a sudden, this huge bear appears, like coming
in his face.
Okay. It's maybe 50 yards away, but the bear is about to come towards him. And the bear's charging, and he is terrified. So he starts praying, the pastor does, and he says, God, I'm scared. Please make something. Make this a Christian bear. Christian bear. So all of a sudden, something miraculous happens. The bear stops. The bear gets into a prayer position, and the bear says, thank you, God, for this food I'm about to eat.
Oh, my gosh. He was a Christian bear.
Is that good?
That was funny. I was not expecting that. That was a good one. That was good.
The praying bear. The praying bear.
Gosh,
There we
that was
go.
good.
There we go.
Good.
So thank you so much. How
You're
can
welcome.
people get a hold of you? We're going to put your contact info, but please share with the people.
I have a website. It's soldwithkish.com, and I'm more active on Instagram, which is Kischma Channette Realtor. That's my handle.
Okay, we are going to publish that, and you're accepting new clients
Oh,
right now?
all the time.
All the time.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course,
Good
yes.
deal. Good deal.
Yes.
Guys, that is going to do it for this episode of the Entrepreneur Blueprint. Thank you so much to Miss Kish
You're welcome.
for coming
Thank you for
by
having
and
me.
visiting with us today. Thank you so much.
you.
Continued blessings to you and your family
Appreciate it.
and your business.
Yes.
And we will see you guys next time right here on the Entrepreneur Blueprint. See you guys next time.